That was Tupac, Dear Mama. So we already know that Botham John, who was murdered by a off-duty Dallas police officer, had marijuana in his apartment. Isn't it ironic that it took us less time to find out that he had marijuana in his apartment than it took us to find out his killer's name? And let me ask you something. I said this the other day. They always kill you twice. They have to assassinate your character. They have to make you a monster. I don't care if he had a meth lab in his house. He was there and she wasn't in an official capacity. Isn't it ironic that we know that he had weed in his apartment before we know what Amber Geiger had in her bloodstream? This is what happens. This is how they criminalize you. We are the newspaper and the news outlets, and of course it's Fox News 4, is complicit in doing the policeman's bidding. They want to dehumanize this guy. Oh, that's why she had to do it. Obviously, he smoked weed. He was a monster. She is a murderer, and she is most probably a liar. Stories have changed so much. What I cannot understand for the life of me, we know now from witness testimony that she had called the apartment on that apartment for noise complaints, including that day. But you don't know who he is? You didn't see the red placemat in front of the door? You didn't recognize the furniture wasn't yours? You didn't see that the numbers above the apartment weren't yours? You didn't know what happened? Well, it was dark and you couldn't see. Well, if you couldn't see him, he couldn't see you. So you were little more than, if your story is to be believed, and you told him he didn't obey commands, he would be obeying the commands of somebody who had illegally broken into his apartment. We know more than why do we need to know that he had weed? Why did he have to have a warrant served on his apartment? Why do we not know what was in her bloodstream? She is the murderer. He is the victim. He died at her hands, not her at his. They always kill you twice. It can never just be, I made a mistake. They have to sell your character. They have to say this was a bad guy. We don't know everything we need to know about him. Isn't it ironic that it took us less time to find out he had weed in his apartment than it did to find out his killer's name? That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.